Kim Ledbetter's bill and the assisted dying bill and Esther Ranson's appeal has just gone through yet another reading in the House of Commons. A third reading is likely to happen next month. And there are a few spectacles quite as alarming or illuminating as legislature pretending to be in control, and it simply isn't. It's slipping through the fingers of the very people who drafted it. The assisted dying bill, brought to the Commons by Kim Ledbetter, was meant to represent clarity, compassion and control. What it has produced, alas, is a procedural hallucination bordering on the legislative equivalent of a Jackson Pollock canvas, emotionally raw but directionally incoherent. And the bill passed its second reading with a respectable majority in November, and now it's on its it's on its amendment stage, but since then it's grown like a weed in a bureaucratic greenhouse. Its author, Ledbetter herself, has tabled a slew of amendments to her own bill, not one or two minor tweaks, but an avalanche of revisions so vast it prompted the Lib Dem MP Tim Farron to say, and I quote, "In 20 years I've not seen anything so shambolic." And he says, when a bill is when the sponsor of a bill seeks to redraft it so extensively midway through its journey, the inescapable conclusion is that she's lost confidence in its safety, coherence, and ethical viability. And yet outside the House, emotion continues to flood the narrative. Dame Esther Ranson, whose terminal cancer has made her a powerful advocate for the bill, pleads with MPs to legislate not to shorten my life, but to shorten death. And her daughter, Rebecca Wilcox, speaks movingly of the fear that her mother's final days might undo the joyful memories that came before. This is powerful testimony, but it's not legislative structure. Empathy, while indispensable, cannot substitute for enforceable safeguards, and nor can religion, for that matter. Inside Parliament, concerns have not only persisted, they've multiplied. The Royal College of Physicians and the Royal College of Psychiatrists have now withdrawn their support, citing serious concerns about the bill's practical deficiencies. Psychiatrists warn that there aren't enough of them to assess applications safely. The doctors warn that the training requirements to administer such a serious act amount to little more than an online course and a webinar. Some MPs are rightly concerned about the slipperiness of the slope and of the scope of this bill. The bill purports to apply only to those with 6 months or fewer to live, but amendment after amendment suggests otherwise. Cases involving anorexia, the cessation of eating or dialysis, neurodegenerative disease, and even financial hardship have all been cited. Are we now to interpret terminal as synonymous with desperate? It's not paranoia. In Canada, assisted dying began with a narrow framework for the terminally ill and has since expanded dramatically. There, individuals facing social isolation, poverty or mental illness have been ushered towards a state-approved death with bureaucratic efficiency. Is that the trajectory we wish to emulate? Perhaps the most telling moment came when the bill's own sponsor absented herself from the chamber during key debates on her amendments. Simon Hoare, not a little irrational, called this, with not a little irritation, called this a discourtesy to the House. Indeed, one might go further. It was a dereliction of parliamentary duty. Among the most chilling interventions came from those representing vulnerable communities. Former para-Olympian Tara Flood described how disabled people are already made to feel surplus to requirements within the NHS, and she fears that assisted dying legislation would cement the notion that some lives are simply less worth preserving. Intersectionality is not merely a buzzword in this context. Women from ethnic minority backgrounds, said James cleverly, may be uniquely vulnerable to coercion from family or community figures who speak softly but push hard. Who will ensure their autonomy is genuine and not merely a performance to satisfy external expectations? We're left then with the legislative process hobbled by time constraints, racked by last-minute rewrites, shadowed by serious ethical and professional concerns. The Prime Minister, one notes, is in Albania. The Health Secretary has distanced himself. The government has taken no position. In short, no one wants this. Esther Ranson is right to want a compassionate solution to suffering. But compassion must be codified with clarity, not confusion. Otherwise, we legislate not for dignity in dying, but for disorder. And that, as every medical practitioner knows, is a risk that no society should ever accept.